Hello, Jordan.
What's up, Michael?
How's the cut going? You're looking good. You're looking a little leaner in the face.
No, I'm not. I'm looking the same.
No?
Yeah. No, I look good. I feel good. Man. I've just cleaned it up a little bit. It's just writing down everything I'm eating, and then I'm like, maybe I don't want that. That's literally it. It's like, maybe I don't need that extra ice cream bar.
Yeah. And how do you feel?
I feel good, dude. I feel good. I feel the same.
I don't mean like, how do you feel with your progress 5 days in? I mean more like, how hungry are you? Are you hungry?
No, I'm
is
not
it easy
at all? No, it's super easy. All I've been doing is just writing down everything. I'm using my app like to track, so it tells me how many calories. But like I'm eyeballing.
The inner circle.
I'm not
the inner circle. App?
Yeah. I'm not weighing or measuring. Like instead of just dumping stuff into my bowl, I do like use a measuring cup sometimes. But like that's it. Yeah, it's easy. It's like I do this, 4 to 8 weeks a year, and then the rest of the year I'm pretty chill.
If you were coaching a client and they were trying to lose body fat and they weren't making progress and they said, I'm writing it down, I'm using a measuring cup once in a while, I don't weigh my food.
If they're not making progress, then I'm going to be like, all right, let's get your shit together.
Yeah.
The difference is like, I know what to do. And it's not
100%,
difficult, but like for a client who's struggling, okay, let's buy a food scale off Amazon. Let's weigh everything for 72 hours and let's see how we're doing from there.
How much you're really having. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't want anyone to misinterpret what you're doing right now at your level of expertise with, oh, I can do, Jordan's doing that? Get rid of my food scale.
That's what all my clients are doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your bulk going?
It's going. Good workouts.
You just had a lift. How's your lift?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was a real solid upper body day. Yeah.
Oh, no. Was it a full upper or was it like a push or a pull? Oh, wow. Are you in a 4-day week? Upper, lower?
I did that I either did that for 4 weeks or 5 weeks, and it's just too much volume. And it's too much volume because I like a longer workout. But what I've done over the last 10 to 14 days is kept the upper lower split, but just 3 days a week. So alternating upper and lower body.
Got it.
And so instead of like a 3 to 3.5 rest day between hitting the same muscle group on average, it ends up being more like 5 days between upper body workouts, 5 days between lower body workouts.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. Nothing super noteworthy on that front. I do like how it allows me to regulate caffeine better, meaning 4 days versus 3 days of having pre-workout. Feel better with 3 days.
What pre-workout are you taking?
I'm actually alternating. Today I did the beet juice plus like a third of a can of Ghost plus quarter scoop of Euphoria pre-workout, which is delicious.
Nice.
Yeah. I think alpha GPC is probably the compound I feel the most in it psychologically because it is good before something like this, before recording. For optimal training performance, I still like just a little bit higher caffeine and less of any of the neural stuff. So a can of C4 that you can get at any gas station, or even a scoop of C4, I enjoy the taste. The artificial sweeteners probably aren't amazing. Something like Legion would probably be a technically better option, but they have this strawberry Starburst flavor, like the pink Starburst flavored C4 can. It's delicious.
So good. Yeah, I've had that. It's really good. Yeah, man. C4 has very good flavors.
They do.
They have very, very good flavors. Yeah. Same with Ghost. Ghost has really good flavors too.
They do. But that has alpha GPC in it as well, which I find.
Oh, does it? Interesting.
Not like you. I definitely feel the effects, meaning I feel something different on the day that I take it. and then I feel a deficit of that the next day.
Interesting.
Versus just having 200 milligrams of caffeine doesn't do anything the next day. There's no like slight hangover.
You're very in tune with that stuff. Like you're like very, very aware of how individual substances make you feel. Whereas I think for me, I'm more just like, yeah, I don't know. Felt good. Like,
yeah,
I think you're much more in tune with that than I am.
I think so. I think I'm more in tune with that than average.
Yeah.
To each their own.
What do we got for today?
Oh, bro, what don't we have today? We got a mentorship Q&A after this. We got some really good questions for that. That's going to be good.
I'm excited for the mentorship hot seats. We're doing this new thing in the mentorship where we for you have to sign up basically once you're in the mentorship and you can submit your name to be reviewed because every week we do a mentorship Q&A with everyone who's in the mentorship. Not everyone goes to the Q&As. We'd like to see more of you there all the time, but we get a good crew. And I'm sure many of you who aren't there live are watching the recordings. But
they are. Those recordings get a lot of views.
Yeah,
I know they're unlisted, but they get a lot of views. People are watching them. Not everyone can make it every week, Jordan.
I know. I like to see their smiling faces every week.
As do I.
We're doing this thing where we're going to pick one person every so often to do a deep dive on that individual's content, whether it's their Instagram or their YouTube or whatever it is. There could be their website, their articles. We're just going to do a hot seat, put that person in a hot seat and review it for everyone in the mentorship, which I think is going to be, I think people are going to like it. I think it's going to be very helpful.
It's going to be cool. That's something that I've enjoyed and is just a benefit to small business versus big corporate bureaucratic business is the ability to be flexible and move and test new things and try things just on a whim. That's been fun. Similar to just upping the frequency of, going from twice a month to every single week Q&As and seeing the positive response to that. It's fun to tweak. I mean, even in a fitness coaching business, tweaking things to get optimal results to make the product and service even better.
It's one of the things that I think a lot of coaches struggle with. They're like, I don't know, can I change my business? Like, of course you can change your business. It's your business. You make it. If you think there's a change that needs to be improved either for a better service to your clients and or better, more organization, systemization for you as the owner. For example, I think one very common one is we have online coaches who start out texting with their clients early on because they don't have many online clients. And then all of a sudden they have 15, 20 plus online clients. They're all texting them. They're like, I'm drowning. I want to take on more, but I'm getting all these texts all the time. You need to make a change and say, hey, listen, I know I've done text before, but it's going to be better for you and for me if we move solely to email. So anything related to coaching, please do not text me anymore. It has to be done via email is one of those changes I think a lot of coaches struggle with, that it needs to be done for the betterment of everybody. But it's your business. You decide how it goes. It's your choice.
It's a great point. And whether it's improving the service for the client or changing it so that you can be a better coach, whether that means work-life balance, whether that's related to response times, how you design programs, systems of delivery. We actually have a question today around, using a third-party app for program design and having some issues with that and wondering how he can make the change to a different type of system. So it's good to always be trying to improve the back end of your business. And same goes with everything.
Dude, I woke up this morning at probably 4 or so. And I've been doing this thing. I don't know at what point this started, but recently in the middle of the night, I'll turn over on my stomach, and I'm usually more of a side sleeper. And I've been on my stomach with both of my arms. So I'm on my belly, both of my arms up over my head. So like at the top of an overhead press type motion, and my hands are under the pillows. And dude, my left arm, when like your arm will fall asleep or something while you're sleeping?
I do.
Bro, I woke up and my left arm, it's never been more asleep than it was. It's more like it was insane. Like even when it's fallen asleep before, I've been able to feel it. I couldn't feel it. I literally didn't know where my arm was. I had to take my right arm to find where my left arm was, pull it in, and then like, thank God I didn't break it. Like I could have like tried to prop it up, and then it was flopping around like a dead fish, and then I had to like just hold it, and I could feel the blood rushing back into the arm. I could feel it. It was intense.
I can't tell if you have just never had that full sensation or if I just get it really bad often, because what you were describing happens a decent amount.
Oh no, that's never happened to me that bad.
You can't move it. It's completely numb. Move it, get it in a better position, get blood flow, and then it's numb for a little while, and then it's uncomfortable when you start to get the feeling back.
Like tingly, like beta-alanine. Oh, it's very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I've had it mildly. I've never had it where I literally had to find my arm with my other arm. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It felt like I was an amputee. It was crazy.
Why are you doing the overhead press in your sleep?
I don't know. I wasn't actually overhead pressing, obviously, but my arms were over my head. I don't know. I don't know why it was like that. I don't remember getting that position, but I've woken up a couple nights now, or in the mornings, face down, and I've never been that kind of a sleeper with my arms overhead. I usually just like that side sleep.
You like that shortened length overhead headboard isometric 3-hour hold. Are you holding out on us? Is that the secret to shoulders?
It's definitely not. It definitely doesn't feel good either. I wish I wouldn't be doing that. I think it's screwing with my sleep. The whole reason I thought of this is because I'm over here yawning and I'm like, why am I so tired? I'm like, oh yeah, I was like waking up in these terrible positions.
But you don't notice when you go from side to stomach, or do you notice?
I don't notice it until my arm's falling asleep and then I wake up.
Well, I hope you can put an end to that.
Oh, thank you, man. How's your sleep been? You in that optimal positioning?
6 pillow solution, bro.
12 pillow solution.
6 pillow solution.
You should sell that book, The 6 Pillow Solution.
The thing is, it's not a book. It'd be like a diagram. You'd buy a book. It'd be like $25, and then they open it, and there's just a picture. Yeah, I've been sleeping good. It's warmer here. We like to keep the house very cold for sleeping, and because it's gotten warmer, I don't like to go as cold. We'll go down to 60-ish, 61, 62 in the wintertime.
You put the house down to 60 or 61?
In the winter.
Mm-hmm. Shut up. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not just at night, and then fireplace and
that's freezing.
Turn the heat up to 68 during the day. Yeah. Well, 60 to 68 is optimal. We find that the lower end is good. My wife also likes it cold sleeping. This isn't
we find.
But because it's summertime, it's just so expensive to have my house very cold every single night. So we'll put it to 65, but I busted out the chili pad.
Oh, nice.
So sleep's been good. To answer your question, to give you more than you asked for, I have something though. I really got something. Shout out Gen Z. And I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, I thought you were saying someone named Gen Z. It's like, do I know a
Generation
Gen Z?
So it's June. It's June 13th right now, recording this. I assume Minnesota high school is out based on who I'm seeing in the gym, and college has been out for a little while, and it's busier, because mid-morning is usually dead time, like the least busy time on a weekday in a commercial gym. And there's a lot more people. These Gen Z kids are super competent with technique, with gym etiquette, with being courteous and aware of other people, with just like general demeanor and manners in there. I don't know. I think Gen Z gets dragged a little bit on the internet, but from what I've seen recently in person, I'm a big fan of what they're doing in the commercial gym setting.
You like the You like the gym-based Gen Z population.
I do. I like the gym-based Gen Z population. And this isn't just like fit bro either. It's pretty 50-50 on male female, and
Okay.
it's a decently wide net in terms of beginner to advanced trainee, let's just say, and all different body types and all different people in there doing their thing. And on the whole, really respectful and solid.
Is it mainly they're respectful in the gym? That's what you're mainly taking note of, that they're kind and they're
yep.
Hey,
Even
good
like
morning, and
little bits of conversation.
Would you like me to wipe
smiling,
this down for you, sir?
Socially competent. Not that exact line. I haven't heard that one. But that plus, not blocking the dumbbell rack, being aware of their position in the gym, being aware of how much equipment they're using, being aware of little things that even, older people can easily screw up consistently over their entire gym career. It's cool to see.
I like that. They're aware of how their actions are affecting other people. It's not like it's their gym. It's everyone's gym, and they're aware. I like that. That's important.
Correct. Thank you for articulating for me. Appreciate that. ESTP. I like that.
Is that what ESTPs do?
Well, you in particular are very conscious of how a message is received, and you're very good at communicating ideas clearly.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm autistic in my delivery.
No, you're not autistic. You say you're a bull in a china shop.
That too. In the best possible, a jacked bull.
It was funny. My dog was lying on my chest either last night or the night before. And it made me think about when you had that sandbag on your chest and you're like, oh, this just feels so good.
Felt incredible.
Oh, like an 80-pound sandbag just directly on your chest. You're like, oh, this feels really comfortable. You're like,
it might have been the most enjoyable sensation of my life. I felt so relaxed. Why was that on? It was in your apartment in New York, and you had a little home gym in your apartment. Yeah. Why did that end up on my chest though? Was I doing? Were we doing sandbag push-ups with the sandbag like floor press?
I think that you said something about there being something to some people put weighted blankets on themselves and it calms them down, and then you were gonna try it, and you put the sandbag on your chest, and you were like, "Yeah, see, this feels good to me." And I remember being like, "That does not feel good to me."
that might have been it. That might have been it. I feel like there was a.
It was a tiny apartment, so like it was right next to us the whole time, the sandbag. So maybe you were just like, I'll just take this. Maybe I think we were doing a circuit with like the bike and the sandbag and everything. Yeah.
Because I know myself, I wouldn't have just laid there and I would have laid there and put a 20 on me, but I wouldn't have laid there and put an 80 on me, because that would have just seemed like too much of a expedition. All right, we got an email. This is too bad. I replied nicely, but this is too bad. But these things happen.
Are you just making it seem to be bad when it's not actually?
No, it's not good.
Did someone send a bad email?
You'll understand when I read it. I'm so sad. I ended up investing in a program. This is someone who I'd been going back and forth with a little bit, who we reviewed their application. They were accepted during the sale. I'm so sad. I ended up investing in a program that is all about being salesy. I wish I would have known. I wish so much I would have invested in your program. I listen to your guys' podcast daily, love all your content. I already spent so much money on the current program, so I won't be able to invest anytime soon, but just curious if you have a sale coming up at all. And I said, unfortunately, probably not till 2025.
Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah.
But, it might be a good live and learn experience, where it's like, now you know how you don't want to be in terms of a coach and a business person. You don't want to be you see how it's, how smarmy
How
and
you don't want
slimy
to
it
run your
feels.
business.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
it could be a really good learning experience. Like, yeah, it sucks that you won't have the funds now to join until 2025. I mean, God willing, we're still going to be here. We're not going anywhere. Keep listening to the podcast, and we'd love to have you if you do decide to join in 2025. But yeah,
Jordan, we're going to be here in 2087. Okay. You're going to be 96. I'm going to be 100.
oh, dude,
We're
how
gonna be
did you
doing
do that
weekly
math
uploads.
so freaking fast? That's
Because
insane.
I was born in 1987.
Yeah, but you knew how old I was before I knew how
I
old
know
I was
you're
going to
4
be.
years younger. You know how to communicate ideas clearly to our podcast audience. And I'm laying there with a sandbag on my chest. We have strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. What do you have to say to this person?
I already emailed her. It's just like,
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that's too
Sucks.
bad. Like, yeah, well, and you know, it was a $500 discount, which is a big discount. But it would probably be worth it if 3 months from now she had the funds and ability and desire to join and didn't get in at a sale price. Like,
Yeah.
we have a lot of people sign up not during sales as well. So
Correct. Yeah.
it's open enrollment. I had an interesting observation the other day. I played 9 holes of golf with my dad, and I haven't played 9 holes of golf in, I don't know, I want to say a decade. Like, when I play 18 holes.
Oh, I was like, hold on. Yes, you have, dude. You got it. You meant you usually play 18. You don't just do 9. Okay.
Yep. Which takes 4 to 5 hours, and I play every other week in the summer. I don't know. Not once a week, maybe every 2 weeks. But I was thinking about it, like, if you think of weightlifting as a skill and you wanted to improve your skill at weightlifting, what kind of training frequency, duration, and intensity would you select? You'd go higher frequency, you'd go shorter duration of each session, right? You wouldn't go once every 2 weeks and lift for 4 straight hours. You'd go several days per week, and the sessions would be 30 to 60 minutes, let's say. And where would the intensity be if the most important thing to you was skill development? Every set wouldn't be RPE 10. You'd have some lower intensity sets in there. And when I'm thinking about my golf game over the last decade, I never practice. When I play 4 to 5 hours at a time, and I play infrequently. And by the back 9, I'm usually quite fatigued, and I'm ingraining these patterns and these mechanics that are sloppy and that are bad and ugly and like make me worse at golf. And I'm going to try something this summer where I play 9 holes, or even just go hit 20 balls more frequently, maybe once or twice a week, and see what that does, because my golf game's been pretty stagnant for a number of years. And
that's smart.
Yeah,
that's smart. Turn you from like a casual golfer, like an intermittent golfer, even though you are a golfer, it'll turn you from like this, I go once a week or once every other week, to being like, oh no, I go a couple to several times a week, just to like, you're actually skill development. I like that a lot.
Skill development, and with close to the same time investment is what my thought process is. Rather than 4 to 5 hours every 2 weeks, 60 to 120 minutes more often.
Makes total sense.
I think there's something there to being fresh when playing.
Yeah. I would imagine, just from a practical perspective, the hard part for the average individual would be getting to the course several days per week, right? Where it's sometimes just going 1 day a week or once every 10 days for 4 to 5 hours might be practically more feasible when you have to take the time and effort and energy to get to the course, depending on how far away it is from you, blah, blah, blah. But if you have that ability to go several times a week for shorter sessions, that is like a no-brainer. That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that most people have jobs that are so strict that that our society is set up in a way
Correct.
where things are where there's greater polarization, where it's more of like a boom or bust, not just with something like this, but if you think of like exposure to the sun, we now know that consistent low dose we don't know, but we basically know that consistent lower dose exposure to the sun isn't harmful to you. What's harmful and what's most carcinogenic is never being in the sun and then going on vacation and being in the sun for 12 hours a day for 7 days and just damaging your skin with really bad sunburn, and then going back under fluorescent lights and barely ever being in the sun, versus like an Epicurean lifestyle where instead of this boom or bust, I'm all focused on work and then I'm all focused on relaxation. You can work a little bit of relaxation in every day. You get 20 or 30 or 40 minutes of sun almost every single day. So you're not burning. You have, I think that like idea can be applied to many things.
Yeah, I like that. Almost like grease the groove with strength training.
Yeah.
You know, do something a little bit every day. You don't have to go to failure. It doesn't have to be a max effort. You treat it like practice every day, and you just focus on technique, getting through the movement, and slow and progressive improvements without needing to take it to failure. And there's a time and a place for going to failure. There's a time and a place for going really hard and getting fatigued, but that shouldn't be the majority of your sessions.
Correct.
Yeah. I like that. You see how tan I am, bro? I've been outside every day. Sunscreen up, dude. I sunscreen pretty hard. I'm a hardcore sunscreener. I know there's a big anti-sunscreen movement, but I'm pretty bought into the sunscreen movement. I'm pretty much brought in. I'm not on the conspiracy level of sunscreen is bad yet. I think sunscreen is pretty important.
sunscreen is bad came from just one ingredient, I believe. Forgot what it's called. Obviously Google's woke AI isn't going to tell me. There are no dangerous ingredients in sunscreen. Yeah. Okay. Like, I know sunscreen is good, but we can have a nuanced discussion here.
Yeah.
Benzophenone? Oxybenzone? I don't remember. There was one, but it was only in a small number of brands of sunscreen. It wasn't like every single sunscreen contained this compound.
I'm pretty bought into sunscreen being good for you. Obviously, anything taken to the extreme is bad, but
well, and even if some exposure to this compound increases cancer risk, it's like, yeah, but how much does that getting sunburn and getting too much sun exposure increases cancer risk?
Yeah. If you're going to be in the sun, which one would you prefer? The sunscreen risk or the sun risk? And I'll take the sunscreen risk over the sun risk.
The way that I apply sunscreen is if I'm going to get a lot of sun exposure or enough where I would burn, then I'll put on sunscreen. But if I'm just going to be outside for 15 minutes, or if I'm only going outside at 5 p.m. or 9 a.m. when the UV index is below 3, I'm not worried about putting on sunscreen. I'm also not thinking about sunscreen from the perspective of like, I don't want to get wrinkles or any vanity.
Yeah, just health
metrics. Yeah.
I used to, like, when I was in the Northeast, I was like that.
Yeah, you're in Texas.
Dude, at 8 in the morning, we're going on family walks, and we're going at 8 mainly because it gets hot so fast. At 8, it's like 95 degrees, even for a 15-minute walk. I'm like, I'm putting this sunscreen on. Like, it's pretty crazy. And it's weird here because it's like the peak UV is around, and I might be wrong. I'm almost positive it's around between like 3 to 5. Like that's the most sun, the most heat is like 3 to 5 p.m. It's very odd. But yeah, it just seems to like just pick up until like 5, and then it dissipates.
The temperature or the UV?
Both. Maybe I'm wrong on the UV. Definitely feels like the temperature.
Definitely the temperature. UV probably peaks at 1 or 2, but
interesting.
But down there in June, July, yeah, the UV is going to be high early in the day.
Yeah.
So you keep putting that sunscreen on. But yes, you got some good color.
Thanks, bro.
Got some high vitamin D levels, probably the top end of the normal range, if I had to guess.
I feel good, just like happy when it's sunny out. Just so much happier.
We need more sun in society. I actually have a question. Do you remember your level of neuroticism on the Big Five personality assessment?
No. Oh, wait. Was that in the one that I sent you?
It's not Myers-Briggs. It's a separate test.
Oh, no, I don't remember.
Okay.
Did I take that?
I don't remember, but I heard something and had already known it, but was reminded of it, that people with higher levels of neuroticism, their primary or one of their primary goals is for security.
Oh, interesting. That makes sense.
I mean, that doesn't mean that everyone who has security as a goal is also high levels of neuroticism.
You know how like I've got all this like prepper stuff for like, you know, like the how to the stuff to light a fire and like the water purification things that I have, all these things that I have. So I shared my Amazon store, my fitness Amazon store on my Instagram, just because people are like, hey, where do you get your dumbbells? Where do you get this? And I have a little section, not in my fitness section, but a separate one that's apparently on my storefront for like all of my home stuff, the security stuff. And this one woman reaches out and she was like, hey, what's with all the prepper stuff on your Amazon?
That's awesome.
And I was just like, I want to be prepared. I want to be prepared in case they go after the water supply. You know, I need to know how to start a fire.
Smart. Looking out for your family.
Yeah.
In a black swan event, even if you think it's highly unlikely that something like that happens in our lifetime.
Better to have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get your prepper gear yet?
I haven't.
You been watching any preppers on YouTube?
I haven't, but I have the links all saved that you sent me.
Oh, good. Good.
Did you manually put them on your storefront, or were they just there because you had bought them?
I manually put them there just because I was like, I have like a fitness section, a home section, and a books section. And I was just keeping them all there for easy access. I didn't know that like anyone could go and like, I thought they would only find whatever I linked them to. But this woman found my like main storefront with all my stuff. And I was like, oh.
Good to be prepared.
Yeah.
Good to be prepared.
And there's important stuff on there too. Like, you know, those door jams? There's like these like they're like look like a stick. It's a white stick that you put it in the doorway, like people can't. I think everyone should have those. You just looked at one. You have one in your house. Yeah, you saw your eyes go right over to the sliding door. Yeah, you have it.
Absolutely. I don't even think of that. I just think of that as smart.
Yeah.
And by the way, if one person or two people see that and like judge you for that or think differently of you for that, compared to the number of people who might stumble across it and hadn't considered the fact that maybe some of those purchases are good ideas. Yeah. Like that's a no-brainer.
I just thought it was funny. And also I was like, oh man, I'm sort of a prepper. I'm like a low grade prepper. I'm not like a real intent, but like, yeah, a little bit of a prepper. I feel like that's something that you just do as you get older, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like it's as you get older, you see what's out there in the world and you start being like, maybe I just want to be prepared for this.
I think a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't as well.
I feel like when you're younger, you're sort of just like, yeah, it'll be fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out. And then as you get older, you're like, I've seen too many things. I've seen it.
I think a lot of people continue to think it'll be fine. We'll be fine.
They do it with their health. People, oh yeah, it's not going to happen to me. High blood pressure, not going to happen to me. You know, not going to break a hip. I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to get type 2 diabetes. I'm not going to have a stroke. I'm not like, they just don't think it's going to happen to them. Then all of a sudden something horrible happens and they have these like, oh shit moments. I've got to make a change. Hope it's not too late. You could say that someone who's really into fitness is a prepper, a fitness prepper.
I like that.
Right? Becoming a fitness prepper. You should be a fitness prepper.
Everyone should.
Right? You should be prepared for everything. And yeah. Dude, I like this.
This is a good content idea.
Yeah. Becoming a fitness prepper.
So you have that store and those links there just for like the affiliate thing? Do you use, like, is that something are you posting the whole store or you'll just have it there and then if someone wants something, you'll send an individual link?
It's easier for me to find individual links when I have it in that store.
All in one place.
I've recently started sharing just the fitness one because every day. People are like, wait, which walking pad do you use? Like, which one? I know you said it a million times. Which one? So I'm like, hey, here's my dumbbells. Here's my walking pad. Here's my blood pressure monitor. Here's like literally everything I've bought fitness wise. And I just link to that. I don't link to my whole storefront. I just link to that one thing. Mm-hmm. And then like when you were saying, hey, do you have any prepper stuff? I made this like one with all of my prepper stuff, like the water purification stuff and like the battery packs and the rechargeable things. So it's just easier for me to go in there, or if I want to buy it as gifts for people, it's easier for me to quickly go in, find which one I bought before and do that. But I've only given the link to the fitness stuff, but then this woman found my whole storefront.
Hey, we'll definitely bleep this out, or just, you don't even have to say if you don't want to, but I'm genuinely curious. Does that bring in a decent amount?
So it's not insignificant, but it's not outrageously significant either.
And given the number of people, because I would imagine when you post it, you're posting it on your story.
Yeah. Yep.
Someone who's just starting, maybe has 4 online fitness clients.
Not worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just, in terms of the revenue that can bring in with a smaller audience.
Yeah. Correct.
Which is why we talk so much about why coaching is such a good way to earn a reasonable income without having a big audience.
Correct. Exactly. Yes.
On the sun, something else just came to me. We, for all of human history, were getting so much more sun than we get these days. And these days last 100 years, maybe more, 200 years, I'm not really sure. But
probably mainly 100, yeah.
It seems like it's not total amount of sun exposure that's dangerous, but the boom bust, the infrequent, the inside all the time, and then getting a ton of sun exposure that seems to be really dangerous.
That's one hypothesis. I think that it's also hard to tell because even now, you don't see that many young people struggling with skin cancer relative to older individuals. And I think that we might not have a full scope of it just because people might have been dying before they got to the point where they would have had skin cancer, right? So it's like there obviously are young people who have skin cancer. For sure, I know young people have skin cancer. But relatively, it's usually older people who have skin cancer. And again, there are young people who die from skin cancer. But I think that, and for whatever it's worth, I know several of the young people I know with severe skin cancer were also doing crazy tanning bed shit. Like not good stuff at all. I'm not saying that happens all the time, but that's several of the people that I know. Either way, I would imagine that sun exposure over long periods of time has always been an issue. They just, in general, might not have been living long enough to have experienced the sun exposure being the issue that led to their death.
That's a really good point. We also need to consider the unmeasurable amount of excess death that comes from the population who isn't getting in the sun.
Yes.
Like what does low vitamin D levels look like? Like, okay, these people aren't going to get skin cancer because they never went outside in their whole life. But what did that do to their health? What did having chronically low and supplementation now? Sure. But what did the lack of getting the benefit of being in the sun do to them in every other way?
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I think, and again, obviously there's a risk to everything, but that's where I think sunscreen really, really wins, where it's like, listen, put it on and get out in the sun.
Yeah.
Like staying inside all the time is a terrible idea, and being fearful of the sun and not getting it, like put some sunscreen on and get outside.
Yeah.
Just people need to be outside more, man. I'm convinced. It's funny. I was talking to this guy. We're in the house building process. We were at the house yesterday, just going through with the builder and one of his people. This guy's name is Doug. He was telling me he has 6 acres of land. Dude, I've got like 3 acres on the new property. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to take care of this land? Am I going to pay someone to cut it? And I go, hey, Doug, do you have land? He's like, yeah, I got about 6 acres. I was like, oh, nice. You do that yourself, or you pay someone to do it for you? He's like, oh no, I do it myself. And I was like, you do that yourself? And he was like, yeah, it's about a 5-hour job. I was like, how often? Like once a month? He's like, once a week. I was like, you spend 5 hours a week on your 6 acres? He's like, yep, yeah, I weed it, I trim it. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I spoke to my other guy who's like helping with the house, and he's got like 2 acres. I was like, do you do your property? He's like, hell no. My wife wants it done well, which means I'm not doing it. But I was like, man, this guy's outside, and he's just got the biggest smile on his face. He's a really nice dude, Doug. He's just outside all the time, just doing his yard. I'm like, man, this guy, he's doing it right. Need to be outside more. I'm considering trying to do my 3 acres by myself, but I don't know.
Start that way.
Maybe just
it's
like
good.
On 1 acre.
It's good in that it forces you to be outside.
Do you do your own lawn?
No, I don't.
No.
I actually thought about switching to do it, but no. It was just a math thing, outsourcing, hourly rate. What's my time worth? How much would it cost to have someone mow? Like, pretty easy swap.
Would you do it for just the outside time, or you'd rather just go on a walk or something?
That's why I considered it, was just get outside and mow.
Do you have a lawnmower?
No.
Have you ever done weeding? You ever like pull weeds out?
I pulled some weeds out the other day. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Last summer, got some gloves from Home Depot, and I don't get a lot of weeds at all. But in the rocks that we have, go pull some weeds out now and again. You don't want it looking sloppy. But no, it's not that many hours a week.
I didn't realize how big of an issue, like in a community, people really judge each other on their lawn.
They do, and I don't care at all, because it's like the dumbest thing ever. It's like keeping up with the Joneses, the who's who, we got this car, like Patty down the street, they got an addition. Well, they bought a 4-wheeler. Like I genuinely, there's nothing in the world that I care about less than like suburban housewife vain competition. Well, Jimmy's going to a private school. Well, Sarah got it on the A team of her. Like, I couldn't be less interested in, they got a Lexus. Why didn't they get a da-da-da? It's like, could not
I had
care
no
less.
clue. I didn't realize it until there was like a little like block party here in our community, and people were talking about it. Like, do you know, like their lawn always like, I'm like, wow, this is a real conversation.
Yeah, you guys got to get a life. You need hobbies. You need to read books. you need something. But we got to go, because we got a Q&A in 90 seconds. We love you. We'll be back next week, every Tuesday. 5-star review helps us a lot. If you got 1 minute, just jump in your app, hit that 5-star, write something nice. See you next week.
How to Become a Personal Trainer podcast. Thank you very much. See ya.